In a historic and unprecedented move, BRICS has officially welcomed Hungary and Greece, two nations that are not only members of the European Union, but also part of NATO, into its expanding ranks. This decision marks a dramatic turning point in the global order, as it is the first time that countries so deeply embedded in Western institutions have chosen to align themselves with a bloc traditionally seen as a counterweight to Western influence. The news has sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles, marking a seismic shift in global politics and raising urgent questions about the future direction of Europe and the world at large. This expansion is far more than a symbolic gesture. It represents a decisive break from the old East-West divide that defined the Cold War era, and directly challenges the post-Cold War order that has dominated international relations for decades. The inclusion of Hungary and Greece signals that the lines between East and West are blurring, and that new alliances are emerging in response to a rapidly changing world. The presence of EU flags alongside those of China, Russia, and India at high-profile summits is a powerful visual of this new era of multipolarity. It suggests that the world is moving away from a system dominated by a single superpower toward a more complex and interconnected global landscape. For Hungary and Greece, joining BRICS is about more than symbolism. Both nations are seeking greater economic opportunity, access to new markets, and increased political autonomy. By aligning with BRICS, they are hedging against the dominance of Brussels and Washington, and signaling their desire for a more independent foreign policy that better serves their national interests. Their accession gives BRICS a strategic foothold in the heart of Europe, raising tough questions about the unity of the European Union and the future of global alliances. It also forces policymakers in both the West and the East to reconsider their assumptions about loyalty, partnership, and the balance of power. As the world's geopolitical map is being redrawn before our eyes, one thing is clear: the era of a single power bloc is over, and a new chapter in international relations has begun. One defined by shifting alliances, strategic recalculations, and the rise of a truly multipolar world. BRICS began as a catchy acronym in 2001, but it's now a formidable geopolitical force. The group's first summit in 2009 turned economic potential into coordinated action, and South Africa's entry in 2010 expanded its reach. Recent years have seen rapid growth, with new members from Africa, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia joining the bloc. The addition of Hungary and Greece in 2025 shattered the psychological barrier between East and West. BRICS now spans 12 nations, representing a vast share of global population and economic output. What started as an investment label has become a powerful alliance reshaping international relations. Hungary's Eastern opening policy under Viktor Orban aimed to diversify alliances and reduce EU pressure. For Greece, the scars of the debt crisis and EU-imposed austerity fueled a search for new partners and investment, especially from China. Both countries see BRICS as a way to amplify their influence and pursue independent foreign policies. Membership offers access to new markets, energy sources, and a seat at a more influential table. Rather than abandoning the West, Hungary and Greece are embracing a flexible, multi-aligned strategy. Their move signals that the global order is no longer a binary choice. Alliances are now fluid and pragmatic. Turkey's bid to join BRICS was blocked, mainly due to India's security concerns over Ankara's ties with Pakistan. China and Russia also hesitated, wary of Turkey's assertive NATO role and regional interventions. A partner country status was offered, but Ankara saw it as a snub, echoing its frustrations with the EU. Turkey has stepped back, highlighting that BRICS expansion is shaped by complex security and political calculations. Even as the bloc grows, its doors remain selective. Washington's response to BRICS's expansion has been swift and confrontational. President Trump threatened massive tariffs on BRICS exports and warned EU members against aligning too closely with the bloc. These threats influenced Turkey's retreat and have triggered an internal crisis for the EU, now facing members with divided loyalties. Brussels must choose between punishing dissent or risking further fragmentation. The West, once dismissive of BRICS, now sees it as a serious challenge and is scrambling to respond. G7 and other forums are rethinking strategies to counter BRICS's growing appeal. The global competition for influence is now out in the open. In recent years, BRICS has been actively building alternatives to Western financial dominance, with the New Development Bank, or NDB, at the heart of this transformation. The NDB was established to challenge the status quo, offering a new vision for global finance that prioritizes the interests of emerging economies. Unlike traditional institutions, the NDB gives each member equal voting rights, ensuring fair representation. Its primary mission is to fund infrastructure and development projects across member countries, which helps reduce their dependence on the IMF and World Bank, institutions often criticized for imposing strict conditions on loans. A central goal of BRICS is de-dollarization, promoting the use of local currencies in trade and finance. By issuing loans in members' own currencies, the bloc aims to shield itself from fluctuations in the US dollar and reduce exposure to external economic pressures. The group is also developing payment systems that operate independently of SWIFT, the global messaging network for financial transactions. This move gained urgency after Russia was excluded from SWIFT following the Ukraine conflict, highlighting the risks of relying on Western-controlled infrastructure. By creating a parallel financial system, BRICS members gain more autonomy and resilience against Western sanctions. This new network allows them to conduct business on their own terms, strengthening their economic sovereignty and reducing vulnerability to external political pressures. Today, BRICS is no longer just a political forum. It has evolved into a functional economic alliance with real tools and institutions that can shape the future of global finance. For developing nations, this emerging system offers a genuine alternative to the Western-dominated financial order, opening new pathways for growth and cooperation, and potentially reshaping the balance of power in global finance for years to come. Despite its impressive growth and rising influence on the world stage, BRICS is far from a unified force. Beneath the surface of joint declarations and summits, deep divisions and competing interests simmer, shaping the bloc's future in unpredictable ways. China and Russia are eager to position BRICS as a counterweight to Western dominance, pushing for a more confrontational, anti-Western stance. In contrast, India, Brazil, and South Africa advocate for strategic autonomy, seeking to reform global institutions from within rather than directly challenge the existing order. These differing visions create a persistent tug-of-war within the group. Internal rivalries, such as the long-standing border disputes between India and China, or the competition for energy resources and markets, further complicate efforts to reach consensus. Each nation brings its own priorities and historical grievances to the table, making unity elusive. Yet, this diversity is a double-edged sword. It is both the bloc's greatest strength, offering a wide range of perspectives and resources, and its most significant challenge, as reconciling these differences requires constant negotiation and compromise. The future direction of BRICS hangs in the balance. If hardliners gain the upper hand, the world could see a new era of global confrontation and division. But if reformists lead, BRICS has the potential to become a powerful advocate for gradual, inclusive change in the international system. The outcome of this internal struggle will have far-reaching consequences, shaping not only the future of BRICS but also the broader global order, potentially steering it toward greater instability, or toward a more balanced, multipolar world where power is more evenly distributed. For ordinary people across BRICS nations and beyond, the stakes are high. The path this bloc chooses will influence global stability, economic opportunity, and the prospects for cooperation or conflict in the years to come.